We're live. Already got 6 people in here. You guys are paying attention. I've got hair. What are you doing?
Bell.
Oh, Bill. Big Bill.
There she is.
Look, watch now. You want to watch Zippo live?
I'm watching it. I am live.
Her phone. Her phone showed up. Watch Zippo live. Howdy, gang. Christmas Eve. Got 8 of you in here now. Somebody's going to comment. 7 of you. They're dropping like flies. I know it's kind of a bad day to have a live because of the holidays. I'm sure a lot of people are really busy. But we decided we were going to do it anyway so you guys could see Miss Zippo. Everyone's starting to get the notifications now, so see the numbers climbing. On my end, I can see the numbers climbing on the screen when somebody joins the chat. So as soon as we get my usual full house, we'll get on with the meat and taters of the video, which is something really, really, really cool that Miss Zippo got. Zippo. For Christmas. She got me a bunch of cool stuff, but one thing in particular she knocked out of the park. Can anybody say hello? I feel like I'm talking to myself here. Who's in here? I can't tell if you're in here if I don't have anything up on the comments. I don't know why that's up there. Are you guys talking and there's something wrong with the live stream? Hello. It looks kind of weird. If it's weird, I will restart it. Yeah, it's really strange. No comments. Yeah, see if comments come up on the phone. We're going to check the phone to see if comments are coming up there. So hang on, guys.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, I'm sorry. It was my fault, guys. Okay, let me get started here on saying my hellos for you. I couldn't see him. Sorry, my goof. Bob Hop, great to see you. Wayne, good to see you. Merry Christmas, Bob. Okay, I could move the mouse over here. Max, great to see you. Mr. Palvis, Merry Christmas. Let me get my hellos out of the way, and then I'll get back to you, Bob. David Fisher, howdy, Mr. Fisher. Kelly Dees, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Jeffrey, Merry Christmas. Joe, brother Joe, Merry Christmas. Mike, hello, Merry Christmas. Mr. Grinchy, I swapped IDES. It just wasn't showing up for me, is all it was. I had it set. I was looking at top chat, not live chat. So that's where the problem was. Let me get back up here. Good evening, Mr. Zippo, and all the ships at sea just signed up. It's great to have you here, Mike. Let me make sure I've got. Howdy, Jeremy, you made it. Jeremy made a live chat, everybody. Everybody. He's been trying to make one forever. Double O, Merry Christmas. Wild Bill, Merry Christmas. Jonathan W, there he is. Hello, brother. I caught you. Our pizza was very good, by the way, in case you were wondering. Gary, how do? All right, now let me get up to the comments here. We do have the best gift, Bob. Both of us together. And this is the first live stream that we've had together.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be quiet while I read the comments. And this one can say hi to everybody instead of just typing it in.
Hi.
I didn't.
Merry Christmas.
I didn't have time to read this.
Oops.
Rachel, smile. Oh, they
I
must be
know.
watching.
I don't know where she is.
They must be
Hi,
watching the
if
live
she
stream.
is.
Huh? That's
Might
funny.
be. Ask her.
Yeah, ask her if she is.
Oh, it's Chase. Hi, Chase.
Hi, Chase.
It's my daughter's boyfriend. He's evidently
Oh, so
watching.
he is watching?
Yeah, he said it's. Well, I assume it's Chase. Wait a minute. Let me make sure.
Howdy, Andrew. Good to see you.
Yes, he's watching.
Black Dog Camper. Merry Christmas from Canada. Thank you very much. Happy Hanukkah to your Hebrew brothers. Happy Hanukkah. All right, now let me catch up on comments. Kelly D's, I'm glad that I was able to help. Absolutely glad I was able to help. And I will keep up the videos. Absolutely. It's been, kind of busy, so no videos have gone up. We've been taking care of Christmas stuff. So I do have something I want to show you guys that Miss Zippo got me that's just absolutely awesome. In fact, it came with a remote and it has to do with my camera. So I'll show you guys that here in just a second. 00, Merry Christmas to Zippo and your family. I ordered a lot of tips for adding stacks. Yep, 00, I do have a couple of tips and tricks on adding stack mufflers. Got Gary from Texas. Black Dog Camper from Canada. I said hello. Greg Schmidt, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
And of course, the biggest Christmas gift of all for me is sitting right beside me. Right, but she just patted my leg like, oh, isn't that sweet? You can't see it, it's down here.
I can't see my dog. I'm petting you.
And our hands are out of view. Hand check. Seriously, the boss was impressed. You helped me in my job. I totally wish you and yours the best of the holiday. Your fans too. I thank you very, very much, Kelly. That humbles. It humbles. Okay, now let me show you guys something really cool that I got for the camera setup. It is called, it's made by AFI, and it is called the 360-degree electric panorama head. And it can freestand. It's got its own little legs, just like this. Or it can be mounted to a camera tripod. And let me show you what this thing does. I'm going to hold my hand perfectly still. It will do a full panoramic. I can stop it at any point, back it back up, stop anywhere in between. That's going to be so fun in the shop. And Miss Zippo did it. She knocked it out of the park. Just fantastic. Super, super happy about that. She got me some other stuff too. But that was one of the neatest things. That was the highlight. Isn't that neat? Roadrunner, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you. It turns into a goatee in the summertime, and I shave my head in the summertime also. But I earned every single one of those gray hairs with my kids, my 22-year-old and my 20-year-old. Isn't that neat, Max? That's pretty cool how that thing, it'll just, and whatever I'm doing in the shop, if I need to move it, I've just got wireless remote. Just go at it. Mr. Zippo is a lucky man to have Mrs. Zippo. Seems like he knows this. Oh, I absolutely do. Backstory on Miss Zippo and I, we've known one another going on 15 years. Well, no, we hit 15 years.
Did I?
Yeah, you started at Eaton.
It was 2004.
Oh, it was 04? Mm-hmm. When in 04? June? Yeah. June 04? Mm-hmm. Okay, 14 years. We've known one another 14 years. We worked together. For a very short period of time. She was mean to me, but we won't get into that. She hates that story anyway. Howdy, Tim Miller and Truth Bites. Merry Christmas to both of you, and Happy New Year also. But anyway, we lost touch for a couple of years, and then she friended me on, if you guys remember, the place called MySpace before Facebook came along. She friended me. Boo, you made it. What's happening, my Cajun friend? She friended me on MySpace, and we got to talking, and became internet friends and texting friends. We never, ever, ever talked on the phone until
Almost a year ago.
just about a year ago. We never talked on the phone until January of this year, which was just kind of crazy to think of, but we were very, very good friends, exchanged emails, text messages, stuff like that. So, but anyway, and they say, marry your best friend and you'll be happy for the rest of your life. Now, Ms. Zippo and I aren't married. We're not in a hurry to get married, but we are absolutely one another's best friends, and we get along all right. I don't think we haven't had an argument at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not one. No arguments. Disagreements, but we talk them out though, and that's the key, I think. Let me catch up here. You're going to win the Super Bowl again this year. Glenn, how do, kind sir? I was wondering if you were going to make it up. You and your wife met on MySpace. That's funny, Max. Kelly D's. You met Miss Kelly D's. Mrs. Kelly D's at work also. They say you shouldn't dip the pen in the company ink, but I married her and we have kids. That's funny. Cletus Moore. Merry Christmas. Stuck in second gear. Yes, I do have a video on getting tractors out of gear. I've got a video on it. So Cletus, do a little search, little bent screwdriver trick. It'll straighten you out. Mr. Ackerman, you finally made a live stream. Merry Christmas to you too. And Mike the Tractor Guy also. Great to see you here. You guys are used to seeing Miss Zippo just commenting, and she's actually here this time in the fleshy. In the fleshy. Thank you, Mike, very much. Merry Christmas to you also. And I think it's great. We've got Dave Ackerman here. If Bruce popped in and Papa Sweener popped in, we'd have a really good group. I mean, we've got a good group. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, just the guys that typically can't make it. It'd be neat if they made it. No, that's fantastic, Glenn. It just seems like it's the modern day age, but we actually met face to face. You tried it and the forks are too far down. Is it a variable speed? Cletus, is it a variable speed? Well, you do the bent screwdriver trick. Right. And you have to get in where there's a shaft that slides horizontally. And there's a fork on that, or a ball on that. And it moves in between first, second, third, and reverse. And sometimes that ball will skip and get between, it'll get in the wrong spot and it'll lock the transmission in gear. When it locks the transmission in gear, you have to get that gear centered back up into the middle again so the ball is back in line and can operate all four gears. Right now it's just stuck in second. So anything else he tries to do with the gear shift lever does nothing except goes in second.
And the screwdriver's not long enough to fix it.
And apparently the screwdriver's not long enough to fix it. Let's see here. Shuttle. Okay, so it's a full 4-speed. All right. You may have to move some stuff out of the way, unfortunately. You've got all the pulleys and everything up on top. You're going to have to get in there. That bench screwdriver trick will still work on a 4-speed, one unidirectional transmission. It's just trickier to get to, but it will work. It will work. I've had people with shuttles stuck in gear, and they have been able to get them taken care of. Worst case scenario, you unbolt the two halves of the transmission housing and pry them apart just enough to go straight down in between where the two sandwich together, and you can get in there and get it straightened out that way. But that's a last resort, because then you've compromised your gasket and you're going to leak your gear oil. Season's greeting, Lars. Lars, not seen you in a little while. It's great to see you. Great to see you. A hold up at Edgewood Corral. Yep. Glenn, when you two get married, we can have a simplicity wedding. I'll even wash and wax. That's funny. You're welcome, Cletus. There's nothing unfortunate to say about your situation. It will, you can get it squared away. If it's deep, like you're saying, it really shouldn't be any deeper than a standard 3-speed with reverse in it. But it is tricky. So just keep at it, and then you'll know when you get it freed up, and you'll just be like, oh, clouds part, sun comes shining down on you, and you think, oh, all is right with the world again. Just keep at it. They will come loose, or you will be able to get that into the neutral position. Your nose itches?
I don't.
So what does that mean?
I don't know.
What does nose itching mean? You're going to get wealthy?
No, that's the hand thing.
That's the palm of your hand itching? Yeah. And someone's thinking about you or talking about you, something like that? I don't know.
My nose just itches.
Oh, wait, we're doing a live stream. We need to quit talking and talk to these guys.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Sorry. All right.
And we're talking.
I'm reading. Max and Dave are talking amongst themselves. I'll have to look at the saw that Dave had in his video. What do we got? A bell?
Okay.
We got a Miss Bell. There's Miss Bell. Hello, little girl. We got a Bailey over here too, guys. Hi, Bailey. Hi, Bailey. This is Miss Zippo's dog. This dog doesn't like me at all. Bailey. Bell, what you doing? Means a company's coming.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's possible. I guess it's possible. Yeah, a little late tonight, being 20 after 8. No hat in the house. Well, no, she told me to put a hat on. And I was like, no, we'll just go ahead and do it different and just go without a hat tonight. I wanted to see who the first person was that would notice and mention it. And that would be you. Glenn was the first one to mention no hat. And thank you, Tim. I wasn't sure. You've got the, my ears are itching, or my nose is itching, or my palms are itching. I kind of know when your groin's itching what that problem is, but all these other. No, I don't think so. Means you haven't washed the stank off in a while.
Or you need to take a bath.
Or you need to take a bath. That's funny. Yep. What you do? What are you doing? What's up there? You want to get it? Come here. Come on. You want to get it? What's up there?
Nothing.
Here. You want it? There's nothing there. Silly dog. All right, let's see. Bob Wireman. My mom always told me that my butt was in danger.
Oops.
Mr. Busak, howdy. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. We wish you and yours the best too, and I hope your health is getting better. Absolutely getting better. Does a snowblower belt run off PTO or front pulley of a 7014 Baron? can run either way depending on what pitch and what blower you have. There are a number of different setups to run the snow blowers on the late models. Cletus, if you will message me on Facebook, if you go to my homepage, there's a link in the banner in the upper right hand corner, says Facebook on it. Click that. You can go there, send me a message, and I will send you a file on the snowblower and mounting the snowblowers. And that would just be for one type of snowblower. So that there's a couple of different kinds. And there's also people out there that have taken and used the deck PTO, the cone clutch, and have just run a super long belt along with the modified idler pulley to run the snowblower from the mid PTO position as well. So where there's a will, there's a way. But just get a hold of me over on Facebook and I will send you the file that I have available. Glenn, got your wife a Yorkie, Chihuahua Yorkie mix. Frito Bandito. That's funny. That's hysterical. That was Jasmine. Yeah. Hi. What you doing? What you doing? You gonna hit buttons? Are you gonna hit buttons? Hello. What you doing? What you doing? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, touch a good baby. Sent me an email response a few days ago. Just wanted to make sure you received it. I did, Mike. It's just been Christmas season busy, and I haven't had an opportunity to reply. But I've got you all set up, and the carburetor won't take me too long to get rebuilt. I just have to stick it. After I get it rebuilt, I'll stick it on an engine, and I'll tune it for the engine I'm putting it on. That doesn't mean you're not going to have to tune it for yourself. You're very welcome, Cletus. But Mike, you're probably going to have to tune it for your own engine because they're all different. It's just like points are always different. What's the matter with you? What? I'm not paying attention to you. Is that what your problem is? Oh. So, and tonight, guys, just because, you know, it's getting really, really close. Pardon me. Getting really close to Christmas. We're going to cut it off at 30 minutes. So we're at roughly 23 now. So we'll give it another 7 minutes and then we'll head out. Bob Wireman says, how can you tell the horsepower and other info on an opposed twin that had no tins when you got it? You have to measure the bore, the stroke, and the size of the valves, and then have the manuals, the mechanics manuals that give you all of the dimensions in order to figure out what it is. You know, Bob, I think, I don't remember if I talked to you about that in the email or not. Did I? Chances are it's either a 16 or an 18 horsepower. They made very few 19 and 19 and a halves. So that would be my guess, is that may help you. That it would be 16 or an 18. And then that should just be a matter of bore and stroke to be able to figure that one out, and the intake valve size. I know. You have to share. You have to share. You have to share. What? Okay, let me get caught up here. Oh, Bob, did you get your replacement tins in that you ordered, though? Because you told me not to bother looking for them. Okay, you're welcome, Bob. Sorry I can't be more help, but yeah, you really have to. Thanks, Tim. You really do have to tear into the engine to know. There's no numbers stamped on the casings to differentiate the different horsepowers. They are actually all the same castings, just with different bores, different cranks, different strokes, and different valve sizes cut into them, and different size on the heads, where the valves open and close. They'll be slightly larger or slightly smaller, depending on 16 or 18 horse. So I apologize. There's no real easy way to tell the horsepower without disassembling and measuring. Lars, will you be machining Briggs & Stratton engines and boring cylinders on your mill in 2019? That would be a good series to follow. Yeah, I plan on doing some line boring on a couple of engines just to get my feet wet in it. I don't have I do have a way to make sure that I've got everything perfectly square and done the way that it needs to be done. And I've got everything else that I need to do it. I just need to, you're reading and I'm ignoring. You're reading and I'm ignoring. I'm trying to block out the comments while I'm answering the question. Yes, I plan on decking heads, doing a number of things like that on the mill. But I have to refamiliarize myself. You got to realize it was 1992 when I last stood in front of a mill. Joe, love you too. God bless. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Give your family some love from us. Well, if he doesn't pay attention, you go.
That's what I laughed about.
That's Glenn. If it's not Glenn, then it's the other guy that did the crazy
the monkey guy.
Yeah, him.
Him.
Clinton Blankenship. Howdy, Mr. Blankenship. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. Merry ho ho, Dick the Halls. Howdy, Mike. I'm looking forward to it too, Lars. I am. Good girl, Belle. Mr. Marine, love, peace, and hair grease. You're sitting at the hospital. How's your not having a good time? Is why you got it like two. It keeps you going on each bed. Well, I'm glad that we decided to go ahead and kick the camera on today.
That was my
Gorilla Lawn Care. Is there a trick to getting off a stripped blade bolt? Oh wow! You see, once they're a fine thread, and once the blade bolts are stripped, you almost always have to. I have a piece of hair or something in my eye. You almost always have to cut the bolt out, drill it out, re-drill, and install a helicoil. Unfortunately, it's now, is this in a push mower or on a riding mower? If it's a deck spindle, I would say just replace the deck spindle. They're cheap and inexpensive. Thanks, Mr. Marine. Yeah, she is. I mean, yeah, she is. We'll see you, Joan. Everybody give Joe a little bit of love. He's heading out. So D-Gorilla Lawn Care, what are we talking about? Yep, they are both beautiful. I'm kind of partial to this one. What? You can see Bailey over my shoulder here too, Clint. That is Miss Zippo's dog. Push mower. All right, that's the crankshaft. I feel for you. I feel for you. You can attempt to drill and helicoil it, but that's the crankshaft itself, crankshaft of the engine. That's unless it's the type that has the adapter on, then there are two bolts, and two bolts holding the blade on. So if it's two bolts holding the blade on and then one bolt holding the adapter on, just replace the adapter, get a new adapter. Thank you, Pete, very much. Merry Christmas to you too. And thank you very much, Bob. It is 30 minutes. Reverse cut drill bit is also a really good idea. But Joe, if you were listening, it's on a crankshaft of a push mower. So even if he gets it out, if it's stripped the threads out, he's still going to have to heel a coil. John O'Donnell, I'm glad you made it just in time. I'm cutting a live stream off here directly. Said I'd keep it on for 30 minutes. But everybody, a very, very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And a very happy
New Year
to all. Right, Bale?
Yeah.
Right, Bale?
Oh.
All right. I've got control of the mouse, so I guess I'm the one that has to shut it off. All of you guys, I will see you next year, whether it be this upcoming Sunday or the next Sunday or the Sunday after. We shall see. Love you all. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy whatever you celebrate.
Happy non-denominational.
Happy non-denominational. Non-denomination holidays.
We saw it on Facebook.
Yeah. Everybody be safe. We will see you on the next one. Take care.